Branding is everywhere we look, both online and offline, and the companies that master it have it intertwined through the entire ethos of their organisation. So it's interesting that some brands resonate more with some people than they do with others. Take, for example, are you a Cadbury's or a Lindt kind of person? PlayStation or Xbox? McDonald's or Burger King, or maybe even a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola type of person. What brands resonate with you? I'd love to hear exactly which ones and why you think that is down in the comments below. Even for us mere niche site owners, there's so much more that goes into building a brand than just choosing a logo and a nice colour scheme. Those things are important, but they need to feed into all aspects of the company. And that's exactly how we need to start thinking about our niche sites if we want them to be seen as brand entities, or in other words, real businesses. If you've ever seen Kyle Roof talk about EEAT, and you probably should do, you'll hear him say something like this.
For E, you want to think about what can I put on my site that makes me look more real? You know, that would be a local phone number, a local address, an email address, multiple email addresses, not just like admin at, but like, hey, you know, if you're media and you want to do ads, that's PR at. You know, if you need returns, that's returns at. You know, those kind of things.
And this all feeds back into that idea of what would a real business do. This is how we want Google, and more importantly, our audience to view our sites. This is how you get them to engage with your brand directly and come back again and again and again. Think about the top brands, McDonald's, Starbucks, Netflix, etc. You don't just go back to consuming them because they advertise. It's because something about their brand clicks with you, and the best brands are able to make this connection with all different types of people. So today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 things I'm doing to brand my niche sites with the cross benefit that they are all things that are beneficial for EEAT. And the first one takes me back to my local SEO days, and it is the NAP, the name, the address, and the phone number. These are all massive trust signals for Google, particularly in terms of seeing a website as a real business or part of a real business. Now, in an ideal world, you'll also look to get a verified Google My Business profile for this. So if you can get your hands on a physical address, which isn't always easy to do, but there are ways around this. A phone number, that's relatively easy to do and pretty inexpensive. I think I've got one for about £3.50 per month for most of my sites now. And then you want to associate the name of the business or brand across all entities online. So that includes your website. It includes, of course, that Google My Business profile, and it also includes anywhere that name, address and phone number is shared. So this could be citations, social profiles and so on. The next thing that we're going to want to implement is kind of going back to the branding 101, and this is to create our core values, and most importantly is to share these core values with our audience. Now we can do that by putting them on the About Us page. We might even create a core values or philosophy page too, and if you've got an editorial policy you could probably embed it into that as well. But the key thing here is that we try and incorporate these core values into every single piece of content that gets published. So this is something that you need to communicate to your writers, that you need to try and take on board yourself, and again you want to make sure that the audience are fully on board with, or at least understand and know what your core values are. And like I say, that should be apparent through everything that you create for that website. So the third one is something that I've recently started to implement across a lot of my sites, and this is using review platforms to create that social proof. And this is something that real brands, real businesses rely on a lot, and it's something that is relatively easy to implement onto your own sites. Places like Trustpilot, Reviews.io, all have free plans in which you can collect reviews and display those reviews, or almost like a review score directly on your site. This just again helps the brand image and shows the website as a real brand. Now, the fourth thing is that we should think about how real businesses, real brands communicate with their audience, and we want to do the same sorts of things. So this might mean creating active and engaged social accounts. It might be podcasts, it might be video, it might be email, but essentially communicating with your audience, with your brand followers through those standard communication channels that all real businesses do. Finally, we want to create and show the story behind the brand. So in other words, who are the people behind the site? Now, if that's just you as the niche site creator and you're the only author, that's relatively easy to do because hopefully you've got some passion or expertise or experience in the niche that you are in, and this can form part of your brand story. So why did you create the site? Why does the site exist? What is the point of it? Now, if you've got multiple authors, hopefully they can all feed into the story behind the brand, and you can share this in or on your About Us page, on author profile pages, and even in those little bios that you sometimes put at the bottom of a review or an info article. Now, the idea here is that all these little pieces of information are going to tie together to help to create that story behind the brand. Once you've got your brand sorted out, you want to make sure that you're not making this mistake that holds back 90% of niche sites from being successful. So watch that 6-minute video next to make sure that's not you. Guys, thanks for watching and good luck with your projects.